you feel your heart stop, or maybe you see the light at the end of a tunnel. A voice calls your name. A presence waits, patient, silent. For centuries, humanity has wondered about what happens when we die. What is it like to cross over? Are we merely biological machines that shut down, or is there something more waiting for us beyond the veil? People who brush against death often tell the same story. Visions of the afterlife, encounters with beings, and sensations that defy explanation. But what is real, and what is the mind's final trick? Tonight, we explore the mystery of near-death experiences, the visions of heaven, the terrifying darkness, the realm beyond life, or the illusions of a dying brain. Welcome to Bellows From Beyond. A near-death experience, or NDE, is reported when someone comes close to death. Sometimes it's from heart attacks, severe trauma, or accidents. They describe seeing tunnels of light, meeting beings, floating outside their bodies, or reviewing their lives in vivid flashes. Some claim an overwhelming sense of peace, others, terror. The experiences are vivid, life-changing, and they are remarkably consistent across cultures and generations. One common theme in NDEs is the sense of leaving the body, often described as floating or looking down on oneself. But the deeper question remains, what are these experiences? Are they spiritual insights or simply the result of chemical processes in the brain? It's reported that for many, these experiences change their lives forever. The fear of death diminishes, and they often return with a renewed sense of purpose. But what happens during these moments on the threshold of life and death? What do they reveal about our consciousness and existence? Throughout history, near-death experiences have been interpreted in many different ways, often shaped by cultural and religious beliefs. In Christianity, NDEs are seen as glimpses of heaven, encounters with angels, visions of God, and promises of eternal life. For those who have these experiences, it's as though they've witnessed a reality beyond this world, a divine assurance that life continues. In Buddhism, NDEs are often interpreted as glimpses of the bardo, the transitional realm between death and rebirth. According to Buddhist teachings, the soul must navigate this space before being reincarnated into a new life. The vivid images and beings that people see during their NDEs might be glimpses into this intermediate stage. Ancient Egyptian texts describe elaborate journeys through underworlds. The soul would be guided by divine beings, passing through various gates and realms before reaching its final resting place. In fact, some scholars believe these ancient depictions of death share similarities with modern NDE accounts. Despite the differences in religion and culture, the core elements of NDEs often align. Light, beings, life review, a profound sense of returning to the living world. Across time and geography, the structure of these experiences remains surprisingly consistent. Could this suggest that NDEs point to something universal? Or are they simply shaped by our collective human imagination? But science offers other explanations. Neurologists suggest NDEs may be the result of oxygen deprivation, neurotransmitter surges, or brain activity during trauma. When the brain is deprived of oxygen, it can produce vivid hallucinations, light, sounds, even the sensation of leaving the body. Some researchers have pointed to the release of endogenous DMT, a naturally occurring psychedelic compound, as a possible explanation for the visions of light and beings. There's also the theory that brain activity itself creates these experiences. As the brain shuts down, certain areas of the brain may become more active, resulting in sensations of tunnel vision, a life review, or the sensation of floating outside the body. Yet, as compelling as these theories are, they still leave many questions unanswered. One key question is this: why do so many people who have NDEs report similar experiences despite having no knowledge of each other's stories? How can we explain the fact that people from different cultures and backgrounds consistently report the same sensations of light, peace, and transcendence? Is it possible that the brain, even in its dying state, is somehow tuned into a universal truth about existence? One of the most fascinating aspects of NDEs is the out-of-body experience. People report floating above their bodies, watching doctors work, noticing details they couldn't have possibly seen otherwise. These experiences are often described as vivid and clear, and many NDEs claim they were able to accurately recount conversations, physical details, or objects in the room. Some even recall seeing the doctors and nurses working on them from an angle that should have been impossible. Skeptics argue that these memories are merely constructed afterward, thoughts that people embellish after learning about their medical condition. But for some, the evidence is harder to dismiss. How can someone describe the colors of clothing in the room or the exact content of conversations they weren't conscious of? Could it be that consciousness transcends the body, giving us the ability to perceive things outside the physical realm? Then there's the light. A tunnel, a radiant presence, a welcoming glow. Many who experience NDEs describe seeing a light, often described as being brighter than anything on earth, yet not blinding. It's not a light from an external source, but something within, drawing the experiencer toward it. Some people report encountering deceased loved ones, while others see abstract beings of pure light. Many describe a profound sense of peace, as if they were being embraced by something far greater than themselves. But the experience doesn't stop there. Often, individuals report a life review, where moments of joy, pain, or regret flash before their eyes. Some see these moments as lessons, offering them a chance to reconcile the choices they've made. The life review often carries with it a sense of judgment, not harsh, but deeply understanding. In this moment, people claim to see their lives from a higher perspective, understanding how their actions affected others. This can be a deeply transformative experience, helping the individual return to life with a renewed sense of purpose and connection to those around them. Near-death experiences continue to divide opinion. Are they windows into a hidden realm, a glimpse of an afterlife? Or are they simply hallucinations, a product of the brain trying to make sense of death? Could they be both? Natural processes designed to prepare the consciousness for what comes next. Skeptics argue that these experiences can be explained through neuroscience, oxygen deprivation, neurotransmitter surges, or chemical reactions triggered by trauma. But there are also those who believe that these experiences offer us a glimpse of something beyond, a spiritual awakening that goes beyond the limitations of the body. What is certain is that those who survive an NDE often return transformed. They are changed, more peaceful, more connected to their sense of purpose. Many report a diminished fear of death and a greater appreciation for life's fleeting moments. But the question remains: what happens in that moment when the mind is no longer tethered to the body? What is the source of these profound and life-altering experiences? Whether heaven, hallucination, or a hidden realm, near-death experiences remain one of humanity's greatest mysteries. They remind us of the fragility of life, but also the resilience of the soul, how our consciousness might transcend the boundaries of death itself. Are these experiences glimpses of an afterlife, or simply the brain's way of preparing us for the inevitable? What do you believe? Is it science, spirit, or something we have yet to understand. If you enjoyed this dive into the strange and the unexplained, remember to like, subscribe, and join us for more tales that linger in the shadows, into the beyond.